Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel. Now, just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I'd just like to say I am an experienced and professional holistic and spiritual counselor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling, mentorship, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with your person. And I also offer astrology birth charts. Just check out the details in the description box below this video for more information. Alright, so let's dive in there guys, and let's see what messages the cards have for you about your love journey for both you and your person thus far. And then also let's see what messages the cards have for you about your person. Exactly? Right. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this. Alright guys. So we're going to come in with the now here. Alright, so let's get into it, eh? I think, well, what I'm picking up is that, yeah, of course this can be both you and your person, but it's, I get here what you're going through maybe a little bit different from each other. However, let's go, eh? So you're coming in with the Hanged Man card. The Hanged Man is Pisces. Yeah, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune rules your 12th house. Can be seen as completion, can be seen as reflection. Here, I was picking that up. It can be seen as focused on here, guys. What I want to say here is focusing on oneself and what one needs to do here, in a sense, here, guys. Lots to be said about the Hangman card here, because you're coming in with ending out, fully ending out what I want to say is patterns and habits here. And you're also coming in with, here in your reading, it's looking at your life thus far, what you've been through, okay, what you've learnt, especially about yourself and others here. And what it also talks about here in your reading, and I do talk about a lot, is changes, but these changes are actually coming in as for the better, of course, for both you and your person. But it's almost coming in as a must here. It must. I'm not too sure if it must happen, but I'm here. It's this is where I want to be. This is where I should be. This is where I want to go. This is the action that I must take in order to get there. That's what I'm picking up with the Hanged Man card. Now you're coming in with the Devil card. The Devil card is Capricorn. Alright, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Now both Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, and they are currently going into retrograde, where they are actually going back into Pisces here. However, this is actually talking about here, it's like a deep reflection here, guys. Here about like I said, it's almost saying with these two cards here, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to change here. I know why I need to change it here. I would say it is proving to be an obstacle and a challenge here, because there is still that pull happening to going back to how things were in the past here. But what the Devil card is also talking about here, like Saturn actually rules your 10th house here, guys. Alright, it's about your work ethic, it's your career moves, it's how you've been seen and what you're known for. So there's a past that you're known for, but there's also a want to create, that's what I'm getting, to carve a new path. But it's both you and your person, you're in this in-between here. Now that in-between, like I said, is reflection. I would say if there's anything here that's keeping you stuck, it's the past you. It's coming in as, it's not so much letting it go here. It's what you need to let go here is how it makes you feel, the past you. What you think about when it comes to you and your past actions here. Yeah, of course, there you would need strength and courage here, because you have to confront the past. That's what I'm getting here. Hence why you're coming in with the Hangman card. And there may be it's like defiance here, avoidance. I really don't want to look at me and what I've done in the past and how I was in the past here. I just want to move forward. And of course, that is going to happen here in your cards. But what it also talks about here for both you and your person is that it will always come up, and you may not have that, I could be seen as willpower here guys, to keep moving forward here. So in a way, it could come in as you'll always, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back here. And whereas it would be better just to take 1 step at a time here. Always having that past lingering here around you. And so what it talks about there, what it could talk about there in your reading is like that reputation. All right, guys? Here, and always being worried about what you've done in the past here. And it can also come in as worried about what other people are going to say about it if they find out about it here. So, it's like a drug habit. Let's just come in strong here, okay, guys? It's like having a drug habit and knowing that you had a big drug habit in the past here. And there's a career that you want to go towards. There's a way in which you want to be seen, but avoiding and ignoring the fact that you have that drug habit here, and you just want to keep moving. And like I said, that that is possible, because that is going to happen here in your reading. But the thought will always reoccur, that it will always linger only because, here guys, you haven't dealt with it. You won't deal with it. It's like shame, toxic shame here guys, to be quite honest. Well, there's actually what they call healthy shame and toxic shame, and that toxicity, that toxic shame can come in as unworthiness here. So it's the way in which that makes you feel, and by confronting that here guys, it makes it easier to deal with it and to cope with it when it does come up in this future career that you have, where it's not going to make you take a step backwards here. That's what these cards are talking about here in your reading. So yeah, there's that big step that you want to take in terms of your career. However, dealing with what you need to in terms of this past, then it's small steps here. Now, when you're coming in with the Devil card, what it can talk about there in your reading is working your ass off. And in that sense, that's what it's talking about in terms of working your ass off, because it's not just about the career move here, it's also about yourself here. Now, of course, this is coming in as both you and your person here. Yeah. Where you actually take ownership over what's happened with yourself here, as opposed to trying to ignore it, coming in with the Two of Swords. Now that is only one way in which I can explain what I'm sensing here, what's coming through in terms of your cards. Alright guys. Alright, so let's keep going here. Yeah, it's big changes. It's big changes coming in here when you're coming in with the Hanged Man card. And you could very well know it here. And I know that you want it. And it's almost like thinking to yourself, man, what a big task. What a big task here. But it's the end goal here, guys. It's the end goal that you were wanting. And in order to get to where you are, you know, of course it involves a lot of hard work here. See, it's easier to give up, but I get here in your reading for both you and your person, you're not wanting to give up here. Alright, let's keep going. And you know, that's how you see each other here. I'll explain further. So let me keep going here, guys. And let's go into obstacles and challenges here. I think I've kind of nailed the challenges, obstacles and challenges. However, I do want to dive a little bit deeper. Alright, guys. Wow. Alright, so you have the Seven of Swords. This is actually the Chariot here, guys, and the Chariot is Cancer. It has been coming out a lot lately. Alright, Cancer is ruled by the Moon here, and the Moon rules your 4th house, your private life here, things you keep to yourself, hence why you're coming in with the Hanged Man card, and I spoke about that here, guys. Alright, and the Moon is actually in Libra. Okay, it's transiting through Libra at this time. Yeah, it is. It's coming in as past partnerships here, whether this is intimate partners here, guys. Okay, also friends here, and it really comes down to what did you do with your friends? What did you do here? What was that association? Why did you associate with those people? Why did you connect with certain people here? This is both you and your person here in your reading. It really is coming in as that, what I mentioned before here, guys, in terms of that toxic shame that you have about what you did in the past here. And it is coming in as unworthiness. It can also come in as rejection. It can come in as self-hate here. Just the way in which your cards are coming in. And yeah, of course, you could very well be projecting that onto other people in terms of reacting here. And like I said before, if you are going to take that step into a new direction, because that's what it's kind of talking about here, guys. Yeah, you know, that's going to happen here. But there's also that need, what I'm picking up in here, guys, is that those smaller steps to work on the things here that you are avoiding in terms of the moon, in terms of Cancer. Here, things that you have kept to yourself here, and things that you would prefer to keep to yourself, because once again you are coming in with building your confidence here and your self-worth here in your reading. Now, I was picking up something else here as well here, guys. That's right. You know, book an image reading with me. All right, guys, check out the details in the description box as to the difference between, all right, both an image reading and a tarot reading, as I'm not just a tarot reader here, because you're coming in with learning, wanting to know how. That's what it's talking about, wanting to know how you can let go, how you can release and transmute some of these negative attachments here. See, it's not about dealing with the big stuff here, the hardcore stuff. It's about removing certain layers here, guys, and dealing with the issues here, attachments here, guys, that are easier to let go of and work through. So in that way, you're building your confidence here, guys, in order to deal with the big stuff. See, right now, it could be just daunting to deal with some of these hardcore issues that you may have at this time. All right, guys. Now you are coming in with the Nine of Cups. And so with the Nine of Cups coming in here, in your reading, it really talks about here why you overindulged, why you know, had that drug habit, and how much it became the person that you are, that you've been seen to be here, that you're known for when you're coming in with the Nine of Cups. But but it also talks about here in your reading, like I said, why did you start? Why did you start the drug habit here, the drinking alcohol here, popping pills here, smoking meth? You know, I just want to come in with some real issues here. Overeating here, guys. That's what the Nine of Cups talks about. So once again, you've got to kind of, like I said, remove those layers and get to the core issue. But in order to confront and face that core issue, here, guys, it's like you have to kind of work up to it before you actually get there, before you can deal with it. because it will prove to be overwhelming if you jump straight into the main issue as to why you did what you were doing here, what it was, that core issue that you avoided here. Okay, now you're coming in with the Hermit card. All right, the Hermit is Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules your 3rd house and also your 6th house of health and health and well-being here, guys. The 3rd house is communication. In this case, when you're coming in with Virgo, it's your 6th house, yeah, and work here, health, well-being, and work here. And it's really everything that I was talking about here, guys. It's those smaller steps here to deal with what you need to deal with, that avoidance here, and what you avoid and ignore. This is both you and your person. I would say it's the both of you dealing with this at this point of time. All right, guys, but also taking those steps in the direction that you want to go in here. See, inclusive here, both, you know, what you're doing, what you're going to do here, and you are coming in with Saturn, the Devil card here, guys, yeah. See, it's overriding that program. And that program here in your reading is, like I said, unworthiness here, low self-esteem, low confidence. That's all really wrapped up in the 9 of Cups here. And with the Chariot card, the 7 of Swords, it comes in what actions both you and your person took, or your patterns of thinking here, how you avoided it here, okay, what you did to avoid it. Now you're coming in this way here in your reading. Oh yes, it can be seen as a solo journey here, guys. The Hermit is also the 9 of Pentacles here. And it really talks about caring for oneself here, building your independence here. Okay, so let's pull some more cards here, and let's go into the potential outcome. Ooh. Alright, so you have the Hierophant guy. You're coming in with the 5 of Pentacles. The Hierophant guy is Taurus. I also actually see it as Capricorn as well. However, coming in with Taurus, Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is actually in Leo at this point in time here, guys. Alright, so Venus rules your 2nd house of material wealth here and resources, and it also rules your 7th house of partnerships. But in this particular case, you're coming in with the 2nd house here. Now, let me just have a look at this. Wow. One minute here, guys. I'm just going to check something out for you. Well, what I'm picking up here, you know, you're coming in with leadership when you're coming in with the Hierophant guy. All right, guys, a role model here. And for your person, they may not feel like that at this point in time, but the steps that they're taking here in your reading to really end out this here, because it's about your person wanting to move forward. That's what I'm getting, wanting to move in a better direction. But that direction for your person is all about them. See, it's about for your person coming out of that that way of being, that way of living here with the Nine of Cups, Seven of Swords here. And then you also have the Hermit card here. And it really comes in as your person here in your reading. It talks about here, well, I want to say going back to basics here in your reading, but it comes in here when I spoke about those core issues for your person. What it's talking about here in your reading is that is exactly what your person is wanting to deal with here, because it comes in as that they actually know what it is that they have avoided and ignored here. You know, your person has actually pinpointed it. They've pinpointed why they have negative attachments, and this is really quite raw for your person to actually admit that they have that. Here, that is the reason, and it's a reason your person has never wanted to confront here, guys, and it does come in as stability here. When you're coming in with the Hierophant guy, it comes in as stability, it comes in as a foundation here in your reading. But what I also get here in terms of your person and even yourself here, instead of looking outside of themselves in terms of their environment, and also when it comes to material resources, that here is that it still didn't give your person provide that stability and foundation that they have wanted their whole life. That's what it's talking about here in your reading. You know, for your person, it's a realization that I only have myself. I only have myself to rely on here. Now you're coming in with the Ten of Wands and you have the Eight of Wands here, guys. And what it talks about there in your reading is that, you know, there is so much that your person, is what I was picking up on here, guys. There is so much that your person is having to work through here. See, I get here in your reading with the Hanged Man, and you have the Devil card here. It talks about here in your reading not wanting to keep doing it that way, not wanting to keep avoiding and ignoring here some really core issues. That's what I'm getting here. It's about for your person wanting to deal with it here, wanting to actually talk about it as well. I get that here with the Eight of Wands. They're wanting to shift it. It is coming in as that toxic shame, guys, that I was talking about. You know, deep down, these are really core, raw, hardcore emotions, thoughts that go through your person's mind. Alright, so let's come in with the advice here, guys. So you are coming in with the Ace of Cups here. And you know, guys, yeah. Well, quite honest, I'll be quite honest here, guys. You know, for your person, nothing really matters here but being with you. That's what it talks about here. Yeah. There is definitely a wake-up call for your person. See, for your person, it's the truth about love. That's what they're figuring out. But I think they've already figured that out here, guys. But what brought that about is non-love. Yeah, and that's kind of how it goes, guys. Right? You've got to understand or know non-love in order to know what true and real love is. Here, and this cup is yours. That's what it's saying to your person. Okay, I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your video. Alright guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye.